Good morning, and welcome to Coffee with Howard. I got up super early this morning. It happens sometimes. I think I woke up at 2:30. Went ahead and decided to get up and had a cup of coffee then. Went to the gym at left here at 3:45. Wasn't hardly anybody there because it's raining outside. Um, did my workout, did my sauna, and watched a few YouTube videos. And I'm kind of just regurgitating crap that I see. Nothing I have is an original thought, to be honest with you. But I like to repeat it because sometimes just sharing a link, a lot of people won't watch it. So one of the things that I saw was a guy talking about ego versus non-duality. That's been interesting me lately, and I think it's helpful to learn about that because observing that concept of non-duality can be helpful in you living a more peaceful life. So majority of the time, most of us are living in ego state. In other words, we're just kind of seeing ourselves as individuals and separate from everybody else, and our interest is, not the same as other people's interest, and it kind of can be a frustrating kind of conflict life. So imagine a young kid at a play, and for 2 or 3 hours he's witnessing these characters in the play, doing their thing. Usually they're in some sort of conflict. Your protagonist and your antagonist are clashing. Maybe they're fighting, and there's violence even. And it's very dramatic, and you kind of get caught up in the characters, and you identify with them, and you feel for them and everything, and you rooting for one or the other or whatever. And then plays over, curtain goes down, comes back up, and all the characters are lined up on the stage holding hands and smiling and bowing. And as a young kid, you're like, what the heck? It can be a little shocking because here they are, all of a sudden they're not really mad at each other after all. They're all friends, and they're all holding hands, and they're happy. And that's kind of the non-duality concept, that we're all one in the end, and that we all actually have the same interest in mind. And I think that can be kind of comforting and help you live a more peaceful life when you look at life that way. And it's okay to live, and you should live in the ego the majority of the time, because we're all individuals, and we need that, in our life. And it's okay. It's the right way to live, but to always fall back and remember that we're all humans, and we are all one from the same source. And the other thing was, another helpful thing in life is non-attachment. So, the Buddhist saying, I guess it is, suffering comes from attachment. Well, my mom used to have a sticky note on the wall in her office at the bakery that she owned that said, "This too shall pass." And I always saw that, and I wondered, what is wrong? Why does she have to always remind herself that this too shall pass? Something's always wrong, from day to day. She's got to remind herself that whatever's bothering her, don't worry, it'll be over soon. And the funny thing is, whatever is bothering her, and all bothering of anybody, is usually due to some sort of attachment, whether it be a person, a thing, a feeling, or whatever. And you lose it, and now you're upset or you're sad. and that sadness will pass. And so, this too shall pass. One day you'll get over that, and you'll move on to the next thing, and life will be good again. Well, that same saying, this too shall pass, maybe it should be applied to the good times as well, because nothing's permanent. Everything is fleeting. The bad times are fleeting. They're gonna go away eventually, but the good times ain't gonna last. And that's kind of a downer way to look at it, but enjoy it while it's there, but realize it's not forever. This too shall pass. And I think that's kind of helpful too, to realize that, and just remind yourself that nothing's permanent. And then maybe when the good times are over and you move on to the next thing, it's not as painful.